everybody, you're listening to Dualcast Geekery, where we discuss all things video games, TV shows, movies, comics, and more. I'm your host, Britny, and today I'm joined by, surprise, Oli.
Hey, I'm glad to be a guest star this time around.
Sometime you should introduce us, because I feel like, I know I say the same thing every single time. So, which is okay, but...
You know, I'll just mess up the introduction.
Yeah, you probably say that we talk about something completely that we never discuss ever in our lives. You're like, and today we're here to talk about music.
Yeah, I get it real wrong.
Today we're finally bringing you guys another episode dedicated to gaming. We have several games to talk about, actually.
Yes.
This time around. At least I have at least two. And you have some, don't you?
I have one.
Okay, cool. But you have quite a bit to talk about.
Yeah. I've been playing it for a bit now.
Cool.
So what games have you been playing? Or what was the first game you started playing?
Well, the first game I started playing that I want to talk about, because it's different than the other ones I'm always on, that you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing about, such as Dead by Daylight, Overwatch, Elder Scrolls Online, and Destiny. I know y'all have to be tired of hearing me talk about that, and there's really not much more to say about them anyway. So, one of the games that I want to talk about that I started playing on Friday is Outriders.
Oh.
So I finally got the full game installed and got to play it, because you know my demo. If you listen to any of our previous episodes, you'll know that my demo did not work on Xbox. It was just a complete failure. By the time I got it installed on my PlayStation 4, I had lost all interest in even trying it out, so I just kind of put that to the side and said, well, it was announced for Game Pass, so I may as well just wait and play it there. So I did go ahead and install it onto my Xbox, the full game, and I started playing it on Friday. I think I got past, I don't know how far the demo goes, but I think I got past where you were, Ollie.
Yeah, you did. You passed me up. I was still at the part where I had to rush to, spoiler, catch up to that stupid doctor, got rid of our little leader.
Things.
Yeah, did some things.
Yeah, so I did that. I got quite a bit further than that. I unlocked the abilities, so I got to the classes portion of it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna guess that was in the demo. But yeah, so I unlocked my class, and I chose the Pyromancer, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Which it seems to be pretty cool. I read some of the other classes, but that one stuck out with me the most, to be honest. Sometimes, I don't spend a lot of time choosing abilities and things like that, because it takes a lot of time, and I'm one of those players that would rather test things out and decide if I like it, instead of reading and trying to figure out from there. So, but I'm actually pretty happy with that choice. I thought the ability was pretty cool, like the fire, you lift fire from the ground.
Yeah.
And, the lower on health you get, you lose your hair and everything. I don't think that's supposed to be a bug.
Oh, that's...
But, my girl went bald.
Oh, wow.
The fire was, burning her up.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's a bug. I think that's supposed to be the game.
I think that may be part of the game.
Pyromancer.
Does her hair grow back after you get
healed? Once you get your health back, once you get to be normal again, without the fire on your body, you look charred, kind of.
Oh, so whenever you use your ability, the ability also affects you.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The more that you use it. It's kind of like a gradual, build up. I think it's called a Pyromancer. I'm gonna feel so stupid if it's not.
Well, that kind of reminds me of...
it is Pyromancer.
That game on Xbox, I really can't remember. The more you use your magic, the skinnier you would get, because it used up all your energy and stuff, and you lose all your you start looking older and things like that. The more you use it. Oh, it was actually Fable. It's the first Fable game. Whenever you use more magic, you're supposed to age some. That's how they originally marketed it.
How do I not remember that? I played that game so much.
So yeah, if you were more of a magic user,
and I don't think I was.
So yeah, if you, I mostly was a warrior, but I think I remember some people being magic users and them getting real skinny and like more like wizard like.
Yeah, I know that you could eat a whole lot of food and become like a little chonkers, which is great. Or if you ate too many baby chicks, you became evil.
Yes. Oh, that's horrible.
I hated that. I did that just to get an achievement, and then I was like disgusted with myself for even doing that. But I was trying to 100% it, so.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are trying to compare Outriders to Destiny, but I don't really see that personally. I think that they might mean as far as grinding and spending a lot of time on it goes.
Okay.
You know, I don't think that they're talking about shooting and mechanics. To me, it feels more like Gears of War and Mass Effect.
Yes, that's what, when I looked at it, and whenever you got your pyromancy powers and was using it, it reminded me of Mass Effect, because whenever you used your power, it seemed to knock people from behind their little hiding place, and then you was able to shoot them and get rid of them, and I was like, that reminds me so much of Mass Effect.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, I'm so excited for that remaster to come out.
Oh yeah, Mass Effect.
One more month. I'm going to be playing it, and I will be talking about it probably quite a lot. But my console is going to be fighting for Resident Evil and Mass Effect. Did I already say this before? I feel like I've said this a million times. I apologize if I said that in the last episode.
I think you probably just said it to me.
I don't know half the time what I say and to who. So, but it's true. They're going to be fighting in my console so bad.
Well, one thing I hope they do is, I don't know if they're ever going to do this, but re-release Jade Empire, you know, the company that does Mass Effect. That would be awesome. I'd like to get achievement points on Xbox with, you know, Jade Empire. That'd be so cool. Yeah, that would
be cool. And I know you were trying to play Jade Empire last year, but the controls weren't having it, were they?
No, the controls weren't having it, and then I saw I wasn't getting any achievements. I was like, well, that's all right.
Not worth it sometimes. If it's going to make you, like, upset with the controls. I do wish that I had more to say about Outriders. Like, I had planned on saying more about it today. But the truth is that the servers were down a lot on Xbox. And I could really only log in about 2 times this weekend. Whenever it was working, and the window that I had to play in that time frame was not a lot, so I didn't get through as much as I was hoping to in that. And that's not like a dig on the devs or anything, you know, I know that they're trying hard and all that to get it up and running and to not have so many issues. I think probably they had a lot more players than they expected.
Oh, definitely. Since it's Game Pass and it's like, it's free, like that is one.
Yeah, they all dropped at the same time. You know, the same thing happened, not quite to this extreme, but the same thing happened when Bungie first made Destiny 2 free to play for everybody.
I remember
at the same time that the new huge expansion dropped.
Yeah,
and it was impossible to play.
Yeah.
It was broken. So that, I mean, yeah, companies are going to have to figure out how to work around that, like when Game Pass is involved especially, or if they're going free to play, because, you know, there's only so much you can do with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. But maybe I'll have more to say about that in the future whenever I do get to play more. It just hasn't really worked out that way so much for me.
But so far, what do you think of the game? Do you like it?
I do like it. It hasn't grabbed me to the degree that I was really hoping it would. But then again, those kinds of games don't always with me, and I don't know why that is, because I really enjoyed Mass Effect 1, right? And I played it through, addicted to it. And I really enjoyed the first, like, 3 Gears of Wars, or 4, whatever. I wasn't really, like, extremely into Mass Effect 3. It's not that I don't like it, it's that I just don't keep playing it. Like, I'll put it in and I'll, like, play a little bit, and then I won't continue on so much. And I haven't really gotten down to, like, the exact science of why. But, like with Outriders, it's not first person. And I kind of prefer first person, like Destiny. You know, when I play ESO, I put it in first person. That's just my personal preference. But I don't know. Maybe I just need to give it more time. And I will. I don't want to give up on it yet. But
I feel more games should put, shooter type games should put more abilities that you can either switch between the two.
Yes, like Elder Scrolls Online does.
That would be cool. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Well, actually, the Elder Scrolls does that because Skyrim did it too. I just always forgot that it did that because I always kept it on first person.
Mm-hmm. I used to always switch between the two. Sometimes I'd do first person when I was using my arrow, and then I'd go third person when I was fighting and running around and stuff sometimes. Well, sword fighting. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have to say about Outriders for now. What game did you play? And then I'll talk about my second game.
Okay, I played a new to Xbox Game Pass and to Xbox One.
I was shocked to see this came to Xbox and came to Xbox Game Pass.
Octopath Traveler. Mm-hmm. And it was originally released on the Nintendo Switch back in 2018, I think November 2018. But it just released on Xbox One on March 25th.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like no more than a week or so old. So yeah, it reminds me of my Sega Saturn days playing those role-playing games and like, you know, skipping school. Well, saying that I was sick.
You did that?
Well, I felt sometimes in the morning I didn't feel too good. It's probably because of what I was eating at the time. But then I was like, oh, I'm too sick to go to school. And then I just be like, sit there and start playing some role-playing games for hours. Then later on, maybe go to school a couple days later. Well, I still pass, so it's all good.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the graphics are like the Sega Saturn graphics. Whenever Sega Saturn used to have, it was more of a 2D 32-bit gaming system. Like the PlayStation was more like they worked more towards having polygons and 3D aspects of things. Their 2D aspect wasn't as good as the Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn focused on 2D and had a little bit of 3D. So what they did with the Saturn games is they would do a mix between 2D and 3D and make their like role-playing games in that way. And this is what Octopath Traveler did, and very similar to how those graphics are, except now they're in HD, and it's a fun turn-based role-playing game. The game takes place in a place called Osteria. Osteria. Yeah, it's like Terra, but it's OS Terra. So, I don't know.
Osteria.
But Osteria, something like that. The Posteria walking around. Well, you get to choose between 8. The reason it's called Octopath because you're taking a path and you're traveling, and then there's 8 people. So. Yeah, 8 Octopath Traveler, and the characters I've played with. I've been playing this game for about 8 hours or so. The first character I chose, my main character is Oberic, and he's like a knight. He was a knight, and now he's like searching for this dude that killed a bunch of folks, and he wants to get revenge on him. And
classic.
Yeah, and then I met up with this guy named Cyrus, and he's like a professor, scholar, and people start to spread some rumors about him, and he's like, what? So he decides to go on he meets up, my character meets him, and he's like, hey dude, how about we go together somewhere? So they're going traveling together. So now I just met up with this nun priestess person who she's got her little story going on, and I haven't finished. I'm using her now. I'm walking around with her, but I haven't finished her little story. And then whenever we finish her little story, she's going to join, my crew of 3, and we're going to be putting a beat down on folks.
So when you complete each character's quest line, did they join you as a friend?
Yes.
Cool.
So you learn a little bit about each one's story, and the way that the game plays out, once I finish playing as Oberic as my main, I can choose one of the other characters, and then they'll be my main, and then they'll go through, and I'll just redo the stories and get each one's little story, and then their main quest is how I believe it's going to be. So it's a game that you can have a lot of replay value.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm. That's good.
And I'm pretty sure it's already going to hit 20 hours or more, because it's a role-playing game. From what I've played so far, I really enjoy the game. I think it's a fun game. And if you like old school turn-based role-playing games where you're just traveling around, talking, and doing cool stuff, this is the game for you.
Oh, so it's turn-based fighting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's
okay.
turn-based fighting. And the thing that's so funny is that, sometimes you're fighting enemies. The enemy is the same size as you whenever you first walk up to each other and you're like talking. And then all of a sudden, when you go into battle mode, the enemy is like 10 times bigger than you, and you're still the same size. And I'm like, okay, that's hilarious. But that's how you can tell when an enemy is a boss. He may be like a knight just like you, but he's super huge, so you know that he's the boss. So
I liked what I saw of the setting, kind of. It seemed like darkish.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty interesting from what I saw visually. I thought it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I like the graphical style, and I like how it just reminds me of, back in the old days.
Olden days.
Nintendo, the original Super Nintendo, Genesis, and Saturn like games. And even PlayStation had some role-playing games that's similar to that. But yeah, mostly I can only go by the Sega Saturn because that's the system I owned and played, and it was so awesome.
Octopath Traveler was originally released only on the Switch, I believe.
Yes, it was originally a Switch game. So back in 2018, it's a fun game, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's done by Square Enix.
Yeah, I'm glad that it came over. I might have to try it, even though it's not technically like my style of game that I would normally play. I might give it a try.
Yeah.
And you tried cloud gaming for the first time.
Yes, and it is. Oh yeah, with Game Pass, cloud gaming is so awesome, people. It is so awesome.
Did you just learn about that?
Yes, I just learned it.
Did I tell you about that, or did you learn of it on your own?
You told me about it, and then I kind of found out on it. I was like, wait a minute. They said I can play this on my phone? I was like, how's this even possible? And then you explained it to me, and I was like, what?
Oh yeah, you found it, and then you were asking, and I was like, yes.
And then when I finally did it for the first time, I'm like, wow, I'm playing Octopath Traveler on my phone with my controller. I mean, it's the coolest thing, guys. I mean, if you, I know,
so excited.
I know a lot of you probably already knew about this, but it is a cool feature, and anyone who has like an Xbox, Xbox One and stuff like that, and it has Game Pass, you got to try that. It's the best way to travel with your games without actually having to bring your system.
I guarantee you, when we go to Disney World, when we're tired at night, we're going to be laying in that hotel bed with our phones or computer or whatever, playing some games, getting our rewards on.
You can also watch the Xbox videos too. On there.
Videos?
Yeah, Microsoft Video stuff. You
mean like when you rent a movie or
rent a movie and stuff? You can do that on there as well, on the Game Pass as well.
Really?
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, they're just expanding. It's like cloud gaming is the thing.
Like, I just can't keep up.
This cloud gaming stuff.
I did see, too, that Xbox says that their next goal is to get backwards compatibility onto cloud gaming.
That is so awesome.
And they said it's a multi-year plan for cloud. So
I say this is the future.
We've got stuff to look
and
forward
if
to.
Other companies aren't jumping in this and doing it too, they're just going to be left behind. I'm serious. Yes, I'm talking about you, PlayStation, Sony, with your backdated way of viewing things, not wanting to share or be down with anybody else. Oh, I'm so cool, but you're not. I'm sorry. That's my rant on Sony being so selfish.
He's a little less forgiving than I am. But yes, I am totally for Xbox, and what they're doing. And you really aren't probably paying attention if you don't think that they aren't doing some good right now.
Oh, yeah. They're doing really good stuff. And, Microsoft and, Nintendo have been very innovative with what they've been doing, and I like the whole idea of being able to bring your games around, with high def and everything. So
I do too.
So
speaking of Game Pass, I have another game.
Yeah, what game were you playing? I saw you playing a little bit of a game. This is making some weird noises and everything. I was like, what's going on over there?
So this game I actually installed a while ago, and I've been meaning to play it, and I just hadn't sat down to do so until this morning. And I was immediately hooked and addicted, more so than I thought I would be. It's called Beholder.
Beholder. Mm-hmm. Well, what is this game about?
So it's set in a totalitarian.
Totalitarian. That is a hard word to say.
It is. It's set in a totalitarian state. If you don't know what that means, it's basically when the government has extreme control over their people's lives. Leaders that were considered totalitarian are like Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin and, them types. What?
And Barack Obama?
Yes. No.
Oh, what about that other guy?
Trump?
Donald Trump?
You said you can't remember Trump's name.
I couldn't remember his name for a second. I'm sorry.
No, my God.
So those two aren't totalitarians? Okay. Well.
No. No, such as Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin.
Okay. That makes sense.
So, and it's set kind of like in the 1800s, I guess. But you play as a landlord named Carl that has been placed by the government to spy on tenants of this apartment building.
Okay.
It's a side scroller without jumping or any of that.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Fallout Shelter?
Yes, I have. I've seen you play it.
So, you know how those rooms are set up like that?
Yeah.
The apartment building is set up like that. Except, it's just from the side, the walls are down, you see the rooms and all that.
Well, for us older people, do you remember that game show Hollywood Squares? Each square had a person in it. These persons could walk around into each squares, and that's their living quarters.
Yeah, okay, yeah, like that. That's the game. I've never heard of that, but yes. You can go through the tenants' things and you can spy on them, and you're supposed to report their actions to the government, or you can decide to side with the people. So you move your little family in, you're these little silhouette characters, and you have a wife and a son and a daughter, and they move in, to the basement with you, and the government, calls you, they call it the ministry, and they call you and say, hey, spy on this person, hey, do this, do that, and then they give you the missions. So then it's up to you whether you want to go install security cameras into their home while they're not there, and spy on them, go through their things.
Oh, wow.
Find incriminating evidence that they're doing these ridiculously illegal activities. Or, you can confront them, and then they might, ask you to kind of cut them a deal, and then that's up to you, but then, you might get caught by the ministry. So you have to really decide what you want to do. And the game is kind of difficult.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie. I put it on the, recommended setting, which was more difficult, as opposed to the easy setting.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because, spoiler alert, a little bit about the storyline, I guess. There are just certain things that certain quests ask you to do that you can't do with the money that you have. You might have, $200, and then this mission requires you to, save a life for $200,000 or for $20,000.
Oh, wow. So you have to...
It's well, shit, they're probably going to die. I got $200 because I've been spending money on security cameras trying to keep up for the damn government. And, like, okay, so some examples of things that are against their government, like things that are illegal. You cannot possess red caviar. You cannot play music. You can't possess certain books by certain authors.
Wow.
You can't speak in a foreign language.
That's like real life on how some people were acting back in those days. Those totalitarians.
And, like, some of them were like, oh, well, now apples are bad. You know, like, it's just very, very strict.
Which I understand the red caviar. That should be illegal.
What is red caviar?
I have no idea. I just wanted to pick on it. And people who eat it.
It sounds expensive.
It does. Very expensive, I think.
Fish eggs.
Yeah.
Yikes. And it's just pretty addictive, though. I'm not going to lie. And you have to spend money to repair apartments. You have to try to move people in. Like, one guy wanted a girlfriend, so you had to try to find him one. I'm like, this has nothing to do with a tenant's or, like, with the landlord's responsibilities, but whatever. You know, like, your wife is, like, pretty much worthless. She asks you to do all these things for her, but she can't do anything on her own. She's like, I need a bigger saucepan. Can you go ask the neighbors for me? It's like, Martha, why can't... Well, Martha's the daughter. But Mom, the mother, the wife, why can't you just go do it yourself?
That's so
like, go
ridiculous.
introduce yourself to the neighbors and go ask for a damn saucepan.
Help me with the spine.
Like, I'm trying to do real work here, lady. Go get a saucepan yourself.
I know, you're ruining lives.
And then she got mad at me because I was, like, putting off getting candy for the daughter. And you have to go to some, like, shady dude in the street to buy candy. Because he sells all the shady stuff. So I'm like, I really had to go out into the street and buy this candy for this little girl that's not even appreciative of me.
Candy with quotes.
It was the little girl's voice that you kept hearing because I couldn't get out of the conversation with her. I was like struggling.
Oh, yeah.
And it was her voice that you were hearing.
Oh, the one that's going...
Yes. They don't talk in a real language. They just like make weird noises. I believe.
That's pretty funny. I thought that's funny.
Yeah. But it's pretty addictive. It's very investigative. So... if you like that kind of thing, I personally do. I find it really fun. I accidentally started playing the DLC first, and I was so lost and confused.
Oh, yeah. You would be.
It's called Blissful Sleep.
Oh.
And apparently, once you turn 85, things go downhill in that totalitarian state.
Oh, wow. That's terrible.
Yeah. So that's where I picked up, and I was like, eee, what is this? This is dark. Get me out of here. But... anyway, I quit that and I started the full game, and yeah, I would recommend it.
All right, it sounds fun.
It is. It's really stressful though, because you're trying to figure out, what should I do? You know, there's really no right answer on what to do.
Yeah.
Apparently, it has multiple endings.
Oh, okay. So yeah, yes, it probably has some pretty good replay value then.
Oh yes.
You complete it. So.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll have completed at least, more of it by next episode, and I can talk more about it then, but I plan to because I like it.
And I'll probably talk more about Octopath Traveler as well as I get through it more and just, kind of discuss more of the characters. I only played with 3 so far.
That means you have 5 more left.
Yep, 5 more to go.
I wonder if Octodad is an Octopath Traveler.
Oh, I hope
Do you know
not.
who Octodad is?
Is he the one that had the Octo kids?
No, you're thinking about Octomom.
Oh, okay.
That had the Octo kids.
Okay.
Octodad is an octopus father who's in a game called Octodad.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I didn't know that.
I was making a joke. It didn't land well.
I was really thinking about the Octomom and her husband. I was like, oh, was her husband?
She had a husband?
I don't think she did. I think she got magically got pregnant.
I felt like a little bit young whenever all that was going on, and I couldn't have cared less.
Yeah.
What was happening?
No one cared. no one cared. They just like to put things on news to make people care about things.
She didn't even get a TV show.
No, she didn't. It was just so stupid. It's just so dumb, and they shouldn't even have covered it because she purposely got herself to have octo children. So it's just so stupid.
I love that you keep saying octo kids and octo children because 8 kids. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, who I'm glad has not had 8 kids is Godzilla and Kong.
Oh no, we don't want to see that.
Do they not have mates?
Octozilla, and I don't think they do. I think everyone else died, so they're like, yeah, we're single.
How is there only ever one of those creatures left, the Titans?
I don't know. There should be, like, if there were a bunch
They're
of
all
them.
orphans.
Yeah, they are. Well, you haven't seen that movie, so we won't talk about that.
The 2014
Yeah,
Godzilla?
the 2014. Some were trying to make more, and we weren't having that. I don't think there should be more than one. Can you think about
Can you imagine baby Godzillas?
think about 10 of those running around?
Oh my gosh, the eggs would be like monstrous.
And then the babies would be monsters, and they just be doing all kinds of things that babies do, whatever they do. Poop everywhere. Vomiting and pooping. And they be vomiting there like fire breath everywhere.
Vomiting radiation.
Radiation. And
spit up.
probably see things we don't want to see. Beams coming out butts.
Ew.
And just think about King Kong babies flinging their poops.
That's nasty.
Think how big it is.
All right.
I'm sorry. That's nasty. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I think that just about wraps it up for this episode, unless you had anything else to add, Ollie.
No, I don't have anything else except for Game Pass is awesome, and I love the whole cloud gaming on your cell phone if you have an Android phone. It's for Android and, I guess, Windows-based devices that you can do this with. So
It's incredible.
It is.
You're like a kid on Christmas with that.
I know that. I think it's so awesome that I could carry around something in my hand and just the only thing you need is your controller.
So we do have some episodes dedicated strictly to us viewing Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So each episode of that show will get a podcast episode recorded by us. And the first 3 are out now. So you can find our rundowns of those episodes on our catalog, wherever you listen to our podcast. And we also have a rundown of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So we released that a little while ago after we watched it. And then coming up, we will also have an episode releasing about the Monsterverse.
Woo!
So we will be going after talking about Godzilla King of Monsters, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla vs. Kong.
Woo! That's going to be fun stuff.
Yeah. So be sure to check those out. And if you would like to contact us with any topics or anything you would like us to discuss, anything you want to discuss with us, feel free to do so by emailing us at dualcastpod@gmail.com. That's dualcastpod@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at dualcastpod. That's dualcastpod. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya. Whoop, whoop.
Bye.